All right, good evening, my fellow Toastmasters. Before we get started, I have to mention that this meeting is being recorded. We all should have gotten, especially you guys online, a message saying, acknowledging that that the meeting is being recorded. As we continue, I ask everybody to do our best to keep our phones muted. I just have to do it myself and keep ourselves muted while others are speaking. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now let's pass this meeting on to our one and only president.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Monday night meeting. It's always good to see your smiling faces to make it to another Monday. I'd like to quickly welcome our guests. All right, but there's no guest tonight, so I'm welcoming returning members and veteran members. My name is Shay, and I have the honor of being your president of the Wellington Toastmasters Club. Again, I acknowledge you all for being here tonight and also for just consistently leaning in. Welcome, Woodland. We see you rolling in. Our mission statement to our members and future members is to create a positive learning experience which members are empowered to grow in communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence. I know that's me. Is that you? If that's you, raise your hand. Thank you. So it's a pleasure to have you all and to keep our meeting in motion. I'd like to welcome our Toastmaster of the day, the lovely and one and only Sonia Harate.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shay Greaves, our president, and welcome to our meeting today, everyone. Our theme, as you can see on the agenda, is school days, the happiest days of our lives. I hope your school days were the happiest days of our lives. And the reason I picked this theme was because last week was the first day back to school for Palm Beach County, and my children inspired this theme because it's the first time, the only time I have seen them excited about going back to school. So one good thing about the pandemic is now we value and appreciate those school days. And I think that the new folks coming up will definitely appreciate that time in the classroom. So as we get started, we will be having 3 portions. And as we mentioned earlier, we will switch tonight and table topics will be first with our speakers coming second. And to help with our meeting, let us have our functionaries share what they will be doing. So Toastmaster Michelle Gonzalez-Hill, could you please share what you will be doing tonight as our counter and also as grammarian?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Sonia Garate. As the accountant meeting, I will be looking at how many filler words that were used by one member, by all members, or by no members. The purpose of the counter is to note any word or sound used as a crutch by anyone who speaks during the meeting. Words may be inappropriate interjections. You will listen for the sound of the bell. Can anyone hear that? It's not in a way to interrupt the meeting, but to bring the member to cognizance that they are going over the ahs and the ums. Additionally, I will be also serving as grammarian. One benefit of Toastmasters is that it helps improve our grammar and word use. Being grammarian provides an exercise in expanding listening skills. I have several responsibilities to introduce new words to members, to comment on the language used during the course of the meeting, and to provide examples of eloquence. The word of the day is puerile. initially it was spelled incorrectly and I made that change. I hope, I don't think anybody recognized that, but it's a funny word and it means childish, simply childish, immature. It's an adjective, and used in a sentence or in a partial sentence, you're making plural excuses. So I hope today that as we learn this word, we will incorporate it in what we say today, seeing that we are dealing with school days. I believe that this might be an appropriate word for us to get our word use in. I encourage anyone speaking today to use the word plural as part of their speech or sentence structure. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Michelle, and thank you for doing dual roles for us tonight. Next, Toastmaster Micheline, could you please explain your role as timer tonight?
Toastmaster of the day, absolutely. Get that script ready. I'm responsible for monitoring time for each part of the meeting. I operate the timing signal to indicate speech length. Timing begins with the first definite verbal or nonverbal communication with the audience. As a general timer, whomever is speaking and has control of the meeting, please pay attention to the red background behind me, as it means that you get to wrap up where you are as quickly, as professionally and efficiently as possible. Toastmaster today.
Thank you, Toastmaster Micheline. And serving as general evaluator, Toastmaster Gary Newper, please explain your role tonight.
Toastmaster of the day. If one thinks of the club meeting as a project, then think of the general evaluator as the quality control manager. I will be commenting on the overall flow of today's meeting and giving feedback. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gary Newper. And before we continue, please take time to use the chat and give feedback to our speakers tonight. It's very helpful and very supportive, especially as we have a smaller group. We can take that time and give genuine feedback. And now, Toastmaster Micheline, could you please demonstrate timing for table topics tonight?
Sure. Bring my script right over. Forgot table topics were going first. Okay, table topics. So table topic is 1 minute, 1 to 2 minutes. So at 1 minute, I will show the green card, green. At 1.5 minutes, I will show the yellow card. And at 2 minutes and 2 minutes, I will show the red card, and 31 seconds, I will clap the speaker off.
Thank you, Toastmaster Micheline. And now we will begin with table topics. This portion of the meeting is a chance for members to practice their extemporaneous speaking skills. And everyone, including you, Woodland, is encouraged to participate. To lead this section, please welcome our topics master, Toastmaster Shay Greaves.
Hello, everyone. Toastmaster. Table topics gives the member, oh, you just said that. Okay. So the speech time frame again is 1 to 2 minutes. The topics will be repeated 2 times, and it's up to you to get super present and focus, as I will not be showing it on a projector. I will be speaking it. In sync with our theme, I thought how lovely it might be to use writing prompts. I don't know if you remember school days where the teacher would give you a writing prompt that you would take home or write in school. So I encourage you to use this writing prompt as your impromptu speech. A large package is mysteriously delivered to your classroom. How do people react? What is in the package? Toastmaster Micheline Nimbert. As she's the
Good
timer,
evening.
I can use
Toastmasters.
the timer. If someone can support her because she's the timer.
A writing prompt. So a package was delivered in my class by accident. And how do I respond? That's the question, right?
Yes, it mysteriously arrived. How do people react? And what is in the package?
Wow, class, we have a package here from Santa Claus. I must say, we will take one step at a time, and each of us will take one piece of the wrapping paper and peel it back. And hopefully we will all unwrap this wonderful package together. So first, you go ahead. Second, Michelle. Rachel, you go. And let's peel back one layer at a time, one layer at a time. As we unravel this package, we will then sing a song. So we're wrapping, peel, peel, shh, paper is coming off. Yes, let's get there, let's get there, let's get there, let's get there. And we have the package. Wow, what a big surprise. Santa Claus came early and everyone rejoiced. Yay! Wonderful. Now we get to sing a song. This little class is mine. Trying to think of a right, that's a class song. I can't even think of it. But we are rejoicing, and that's my surprise package to you all.
Thank you, Toastmaster Micheline. How exciting. Early Christmas or Christmas in the summer. If you could change one thing about your school, what would it be and why? Convince the person reading this paper to change it. If you could change anything about your school, what would it be and why? Convince the person reading this paper to change it. Toastmaster Shastri Stewart.
How did I know I was gonna get this question? Hi, good evening, fellow Toastmasters, dignitaries. I don't think we have any dignitaries and no guests. What would I do to make them change something about my school? Well, the first thing I'd want them to do is to change it to an all-boys school. And the reason why I said that is because school is for education. And when you have the opposite sex in school, it makes it very difficult for us to concentrate. So I think it would be more beneficial in my interest to put the girls in a school by themselves and have the boys in a school by themselves. And another reason why is to have that brotherly love, competing and playing games and, doing certain things that might offend the opposite sex. Playing video games is one of my favorite things to do. But if there's one thing that I wanted to change from that school, or it would be changing it to an all boys school. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shastri Stewart. Finish the story. One day at school, our teacher was gone. In their place was one day. Finish the story. One day at school, our teacher was gone. In their place was Toastmaster Woodland Cassius.
So the teacher left. What can you repeat it, please?
One day at school, our teacher was gone. In their place was a, finish the story.
In their place was a substitute. and and the substitute was fun. Well, they really didn't care, and about what the students did. We played video games in class, played board games as well, and it was a fun day until the teacher came back, and then teacher saw that everything that we were doing, and we all got in trouble. We all got after school detention. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you, Toastmaster Woodland. Tell about an activity that you have participated in at school and you really loved it. Tell about an activity that you participated in school and you really loved it. Toastmaster Michelle Gonzalez.
The best things that I thought I participated in school was two things actually: vocabulary and folk dance. You would think I could dance. No, I couldn't dance. But there I was with my skirt. My grandmother made this wide skirt made from flowers, and my bodice was a top that sort of resembles those Castilian dancers. And I was with the skirt dancing like that and making my footsteps. I was so proud of myself that day in school that they chose me with my two left feet to dance. But after that, you know what happened? I learned to dance the Castilian. And then vocabulary practice. I don't know if you guys know the student companion. The student's companion was this little orange book that we had to learn these words: amiable, kind, amicable, friendly. We had to learn to spell khaki. We had to learn to spell lingerie. And this is where the beginning of my love for words began. Singing and dancing still is not my best thing, but I really believe that one of the best things in my school was the ability for us to enjoy the arts and also the education that we got from learning words and putting our dancing and song into practice. I did a whole ensemble with my choir. We did Castilian, we did music for Christmas. It was just the most enjoyable time that I remember until today. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Michelle. I think we have time. Do we have time to finish the rest of the members or?
I think
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Okay. You left your homework assignment in school and it was the last assignment of the semester. What did you do? You left your homework assignment in school and it was the last assignment of the semester. What did you do? Toastmaster Gary Newper.
Well, I guess there's nothing that I can do, but I've been such an astute student that I don't really care about my last homework assignment, because even without my last homework assignment, I'll still graduate and I'll still graduate with honors. So I'm going to start my vacation early and go and do Shastri's favorite thing by playing some video games. My parents will be wondering what happened, But fortunately, I've done well, so I think they'll believe me if I say that our teacher decided that we could start vacation early and she wouldn't give us this last assignment to do just to keep us busy, considering she doesn't want to have to grade it while we're all on vacation already. So school's out early. Have a good vacation.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gary.
And he's full of himself.
Write a letter to your principal convincing them to do something with the entire school. You believe it would be fun and it would help others to learn new things. Write a letter to your principal convincing them to do something with the entire school. You believe it would be fun and would help others to learn new things. Toastmaster Ray Melendez.
Write a letter to my school convincing the principal
To do something with the entire school that's fun and helps us learn new things.
Well, I didn't actually write a letter, but I'll tell you a story that I actually did when I was younger. I actually did talk to the principal about getting being myself a computer guy, about putting a computer lab on in our school. And this actually took about 3 years. I was very, very young at the time, and we actually eventually did this. How did this help me? Well, obviously, I enjoyed my time. I still enjoy my days with computers on there, but it actually helped me learn how to do actual software development, and I was actually able to help other students at the time. This was actually one of my first times where I actually started teaching others on there. Learning by doing is what how I mentioned it in my last one of my last speeches on there. So, but yes, that is one of the things that I actually pushed and pushed and pushed. I did not write that letter. I actually just verbally went up to the principal and I kept asking, when can we get this computer? When can we get a computer? When can we get a computer? We were a very small team, very small school, so it was easy to get my voice heard at the time being. That is all.
Thank you. Describe your favorite or least favorite school meal or snack food. Describe your favorite or least favorite school meal or snack food. Toastmaster Sonia Harate.
Good evening, Wellington Toastmasters and Table Topics Master Shay. This is an easy one for me. I'll start with my least favorite. My least favorite, which I'm sure might be also your least favorite, I'll remind you, it came in a cup, it came in a variety of colors, and it had a squirt of supposedly whipped cream on top. Like any memories coming back? A cup of Jell-O that I'm not even sure if it was Jell-O, but that was the dessert that was served throughout middle and high school. Absolutely the worst dessert. The texture, the color, the flavor, everything gives it a negative stars. Now, the best food I ever had was actually at a cafeteria back home in Trinidad, and that's something called doubles. Now, doubles is something that you've probably all had, but in a different version. If you like bread and hummus, pita chips and hummus, you've basically had doubles, which is our version of chickpeas in a dough. It's delicious, it's amazing, and my favorite lunch ever. So if you ever find yourself on a campus again and you see a little cup of Jell-O, give it a try for me. Let's see if it's still as icky as I remember. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonia Harate. What about your favorite, write about your favorite thing you've ever learned at school. Write about your favorite thing you've ever learned at school. Toastmaster Sujana.
One of the favorite activity I still remember till this day, I think the activity took place when I was in grade 8 or 9. It was I don't even recall the name of the teacher, but recall what she made us do that day. So it was a fun activity. We were told to stick a piece of paper, a big piece of paper on our back. All of us did it with a tape or whatever we could find, or even a safety pin. And then the teacher said, now you can write about that friend. Let's say I'm writing, I have Sonia's back and I'm writing a nice thing about Sonia. And then I will move on, right? Like I would write about Gary and Micheline, and same friends will do the same thing to me, write good things about me on my back. And at the end of this activity, we all read it out. How awesome was that? So I still remember that activity. When I became a substitute teacher in my country before coming here, I made the students do the same activity, and it was so much fun. It was all about like raising the self-confidence and whatnot. So that was a fun activity. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, so Sejana. A lot of these were so heartwarming already and creative. And finally, last but not least, snow days sometimes mean that school is called off. Other times you get to go to school while it's snowing. Tell about your favorite snow day memory. If you never had snow, tell what you imagine one would be like. Tell about your favorite snow day memory. If you never had one, tell what you would imagine it would be like. Toastmaster Heon Green.
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master. This also is an easy question for me. I still remember as if it happened last week. It was back in 1998. I was studying to be a contract interpreter for the US State Department. Back then, there was no such thing as Zoom. In order to take the test and subsequently the interview, I had to fly to Washington, D.C. That was in February. The worst snowstorm ever the Washington, D.C. residents had at that time. I did not know. I was already on the plane flying to Washington, D.C. when I heard everything was shut down. All the government agencies were shut down. Really, no kidding. I arrived at the Reagan Airport, made my way to the State Department building. I literally waded through the snow, pile of snow. The building was shut down. Drove all that way, no, flew all that way, and the building was shut down. The rest is even more interesting. It is really a story that I will never forget, but I will end here. Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Heon. And thank you everyone for participating. I really enjoyed your reflection on school days. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Sonia Harate.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shay, for those wonderful questions. Timer, can we have a brief timers report about our speakers?
All speakers were within time.
Wonderful, thank you. And if we can get the poll ready, and we can have that in the next transition, that would be great. Thank you. Now we're going on to our second portion that was flipped, our prepared speeches. And evaluating our first speaker, Toastmaster Sujana. Toastmaster Ray Melendez, can you share her project information for us tonight?
Thank you, Sonia. So Suhana is on Project Mastery Level 3. And her speech is under the Creative Effective Visual Arts, where she will be using 2 to 3 visual aids. Her speech will be 5 to 7 minutes long. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ray. Timer, could you please demonstrate the timing for this speech?
Certainly. Timing speech 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I will display the green card. At 6 minutes, I will display the yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I will display the red card. And I will give the speaker to 30 seconds more to wrap up, and I'll clap the speaker off.
Thank you, Toastmaster Micheline.
Thank you.
The title of Toastmaster Sujana's speech is Quality, a Luxury or a Reputation? Sujana has been a quality advocate for over a decade. Tonight, she will share with us why focusing on quality is essential in the beginning to have a quality outcome. Please welcome Toastmaster Sujana.
Thank you. I'll be sharing a PowerPoint. 1 second. Can everybody see my screen? I'm trying. Stop sharing. Give me 1 second, please. All right. So when you are looking to buy a product or a service, what exactly are you looking for? When I'm trying to buy a product on Amazon, I'm sure looking at the reviews and not all the comments, most of the comments about that product. I bet most of you are looking for this sign, best quality, 100% guaranteed. Good evening, my fellow Toastmaster and dignitary. So what is quality after all? Being in this quality journey for over a decade, I came in terms that there are 2 schools of thoughts when it comes to quality. Let's see which one resonates with you the most. The first school of thought is quality is luxury. Look at that beautiful yacht and that building and a beautiful car. Quality is a luxury. What I mean by quality is a luxury is the people who think quality is a luxury, what they are saying is, I'll worry about quality when I have time and money and resource. Right now, what I want to do is just ship this out the door. Let somebody else worry about quality. To them, it is negotiable. They will only worry about quality when they have time. Sometimes it's too late. And then another school of thought is quality is my reputation. Is non-negotiable for me because anytime I'm over my work, it has my name attached to it. Therefore, I care. And I'm going to do my best to make sure it's a quality outcome. I know some of us are from different, different steps of life, different walks of life. I mean, some are in healthcare, some are accounting. End of the day, we all are producing something. There is an outcome. We are handing over it to somebody. So when you hand over that outcome, are you thinking quality is a luxury? I'll think about the report, whether it's correct or not, after I hand it over to my boss? Or are you considering, let me recheck my work? Let me find all the elements about this work before I hand it over to my boss. So my fellow Toastmaster, which school of thought do you belong to? Quality a luxury or quality my reputation? One thing is for sure, as John Ruskin said, quality is never an accident. It is always the result of intelligent effort. When we look around the companies that are known for quality, like Apple or Walt Disney, Whole Foods, Caterpillars, one thing they make it very look easy is it's there, it's really easy, but it is not. Little do we know about the people involved working continuously day and night to build a company that is known for quality. So what happens when the quality goes down? A couple of years ago, I was on this boat at my work, and it is not a great place to be. We built applications, and our application had a lot of quality issues. And one thing that happened right away when quality took a dip was this. It blew the trust. It blew away the trust between each other, my teammate, and moreover, it broke the trust between the customer. Anytime we would put something in production, we call it, or launch, if you can understand that better, then our customer were not sure what they're gonna get next. What are they gonna get, what they were promised, or are we gonna be getting something that is not working yet again? So it was not fun to be on the other side when your business, your customer don't trust you. We had no choice but to turn it around, and let me share with you how we turn it around for quality. One of the first step that we did is collaborate early and often. Oftentimes, we want to take action right away. Do you really understand what your business is asking for, what your customers are asking for? So talk to them, meet with them often. Don't show them the final product on the day it is due. Meet with them in the midway and see if it's close to what they're looking for. Get feedback, improvise. That's how you can do better. This diagram, I'm sure, Ray, you have seen it many, many times. It's called software development lifecycle. We use this in IT all the time, but for those of you who are not in IT, think this as an assembly line. If production is the launch date, where do you think we should insert quality? Some would say just in the test stage. But if you want a quality outcome, you have to sprinkle quality in every step. Then only you are going to have a quality outcome. This is one of my favorite slides. Bugs, if there are issues, we call them bugs in the application. The sooner you focus on quality, the chances are you're going to catch the bugs early. And look how tiny the bug is when you catch them, and look at the dollar amount associated with it. It's very easy and cheap to fix. But if you don't catch these issues, underlying issue earlier on, it becomes complex and more expensive to fix. Tonight, I would like to leave you guys with a powerful thought from late Sam Walton. If you don't listen to your customer, someone else will. So my fellow Toastmaster, are you listening to your customer? Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sujana. Wonderful information. And I will never forget that graph with the bugs. Lovely. Moving on to our second speaker, Toastmaster Shastri, could you please provide the speech notes for our second speaker tonight?
Absolutely. Toastmaster Jan Green, her speech style is farewell speech for college. Colleague, I'm sorry. It's dynamic leadership. It's an elective speech. It's a social speech. And this project addresses the skills needed to compose a speech for a social occasion, including a toast, eulogy, an acceptance speech, and a speech praising an individual or group. Speech length is 3 to 4 minutes. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shastri. And timer, could you please demonstrate the timing signals for this speech length?
Sure. So 3 to 4 minutes, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
correct.
so at 4 minutes, I will show the green card.
Oh, no.
And-
At 3?
Sorry. Okay. Wait, at 3?
Yes, at 3 minutes. So,
Okay.
speech
At
length
3
is
minutes, it's going to
4
be
minutes.
the green. At 3.5 will be the yellow. And at 4 minutes will be the red card. And she
Thank
will
you,
have 30
Toastmaster.
seconds to wrap up.
Thank you, Toastmaster Micheline.
Thank you.
Speaker number 2, her project title is Farewell Speech for a Colleague. Toastmaster Hyon will give a farewell speech for a colleague who is leaving the company. Please welcome Toastmaster Jan Green.
I
was waiting for this moment, my dear Jackie, to give you a proper send-off. Of course, it was a bittersweet moment for me when I heard that you took a better job and that you were leaving us. But I cannot think of a better person than you, who will be the Director of Human Resources in Apple. You are the best person for this job. Why? Because you have the capacities and the qualifications. Of course, I will miss saying good morning to you every morning. I will miss our occasional lunches. And above all, I will miss your mentoring. The qualities are numerous, but you were indeed so helpful when I joined the company. And you took me under your wing, and you taught me how to do reports, how to do quarterly invoicing, and above all, how to navigate the office politics. That was a great help. And actually, no joking aside, you were so smart. I still remember being blown away in one brainstorming session after another when you were able to pinpoint the errors and flaws in our projects, in our performance plans. It was wonderful just to watch you silently doing all the wonderful analysis and result performance. But I don't know how you do this. You do all this without putting yourself above others. I tell you, it takes a PhD to master that kind of skill. Jackie, I'm going to miss you, but you will do great as a Director of Human Resources. All the best, and I'm going to call you when I need a mentor. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hyun Green, for that wonderful farewell speech. And at this time, we're going to move on to the third section of our meeting, evaluations, the gift of instant feedback. And to lead this portion, please welcome our Toastmaster, Gary Nooper.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonia, and great job to our speakers this evening. Considering that our evaluators normally have table topics to finalize their evaluations this evening, I'm going to give us all a 1-minute break to provide our speakers with feedback. For Toastmaster Hyun, if you want to give her feedback, feel free to send her an individual WhatsApp message.
All
The
right.
number's on the WhatsApp group. So I'll start the stopwatch now.
That's a private message, correct? Not into the, okay.
Private,
Just making sure that we know that.
yes. Okay, well, hopefully you've all been able to provide the speakers with some feedback. This third section of our meeting this evening is evaluations, the gift of instant feedback. And this is a very valuable part of a Toastmasters meeting. Toastmaster Micheline, please will you provide us with the timing signals for our evaluators this evening?
General evaluator, I will be showing the green. Evaluators have 2 to 3 minutes, and at 2 minutes, I will display the green card, and at 2.5 minutes, I will display the yellow card. At 3 minutes, I will show the red card, and the evaluator has 30 seconds to wrap up. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Micheline. Our first evaluator this evening, evaluating Toastmaster Susanna. Please welcome Toastmaster Ray.
Let's see here. Thank you, Toastmaster Gary. Suhana. Gave a great speech, and it was on a topic that, well, as we've spoken before, I can always correlate to Madam Toastmaster, my fellow Toastmasters here, and to our one and only Suhana. You started, Suhana, was about the same time period when I started here about 2 years ago, 1.5 years, 2 years ago, I don't even remember, but you started about the same week that I did. And though it's been hard to see myself any change, I could see the difference since when you and I were sitting at this table around here and till with all your speeches that you've given it until today on here. You spoke about quality. You spoke about a topic that, quality assurance, something that quality itself, not necessarily quality assurance. You work in the quality assurance area, but it's an area that I've had to work with as well. And as we've been able to speak about it in the past, it's something that, I have pretty much as well inside as well, deep in my heart, where I have to work with this type. So the topic that you came about and speaking, the evaluation is not necessarily on the topic. I will say it's something that I can actually correlate because we're in the sort of the same world on here. You spoke as well. You actually mentioned one of the quotes that you gave, and I didn't see who was it. Quality is never an accident. It is always the result of intelligent effort on there. Beautiful, beautiful quote there that I'm actually going to steal from you and present to my team actually as we go along. It's something, like I said, that we can go about. I can go about and correlate since we're as well so in the same area. I need reading glasses. You also spoke about trust and how trust can be as well lost, and I talked about this with my own kids on there. That you could probably work your whole life to gain trust, and you could lose it in a matter of seconds on there. So you asked to focus in 2 areas. You asked to focus on the area of visual impact on here, and your slides showed it. Your slides show it. You showed pretty much, and as I mentioned earlier, from going through bugs to talking about luxury, talking about reputation on there, and you talked about and as well what we go through in the software development life cycle. So you came about and nailed it there. Vocal variety, I think this is an area that I probably could have done slightly better. You closed one of your closing statement, I think could have been done. So my fellow Toastmasters, are you listening to your customers? Said it out loud. But otherwise, you did an awesome speech. Thank you, Suhana.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ray. I think we'll all be stealing that quote. Our second evaluator for this evening, evaluating Toastmaster Hyun, is Toastmaster Shastri. Give him a round of applause.
All right, good evening again, fellow Toastmasters. And especially Jan. I love evaluating you. I honestly do. And today I want to focus on 7 things. I really want clarity, vocal variety, eye contact, gestures, comfort level, interest, and the topic. All right, so first of all, clarity. Your language was clear. It was punctuated. It was pointed. We heard you loud and clear. Vocal variety is always good with you, Jan. You had a soft approach. I felt the empathy and the impact that Jackie had on you. I really felt that with your vocal variety. Excellent job. Your eye contact was exquisite. You looked at every single one of us. Gestures was sharp. You did this with your hand. You had your open gestures. Your body moved like you were dancing like a ballerina. And you really engaged the audience with your gestures. Your comfort level, as always, you're very comfortable. It's like you're Zenish. You know, you're meditative when you speak. I love that. And most importantly, your interest. The topic you selected and what you said about Jackie and the stories that you gave about her was very engaging to us, the audience. Great job on that. Topic. There's not a better topic than what you selected for Toastmasters. I mean, we're called Toastmasters. Perfect topic selection. The only thing I would think maybe might provide a bigger impact to Jackie is maybe having a stunning intro. Starting with a story instead to engage everyone, and then you can move into your speech. I think that will be more impactful. But besides that, you did an awesome job. Now I feel like I want to work for you, so you could give me a speech. But thank you, Jan. You always do an awesome job. Back to you, general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Joshua. Always enjoy your evaluations as well and enjoy learning from what you have to share for other speakers. Are our polls ready for this evening?
So I'm unable to edit the polls. I was going to have you choose your table topics person and message me directly,
Right.
and I can tally it that way. So first, our table topics, we had Toastmasters Sonia Harate, Ray Melendez, Shastri Stewart, Heon Green, Micheline, Nimbard, Michelle Gonzalez.
Okay. Ray said that he's busy entering the table topics for us.
Okay, so he's on it, okay.
I launched the speaker and evaluator in the meantime. Sounds like Toastmaster Ray will have the table topics updated for us.
Okay, no problem. Also, I believe one of our evaluators was over time. So as far as evaluations, there's only one evaluator, and I believe also one of our speakers was over time.
He wrapped up at 1 minute and 29 seconds.
Okay.
I'm sorry, 2 minutes and 29 seconds.
Okay, good.
Got it wrong.
Made it.
3 minutes and 29 seconds. That was the maximum.
Okay,
Bailey
good.
made it.
Okay.
Was I within time? I thought that was.
No, you were under time.
Under
Her
time?
speech is 3.
Yes, it was 3 to 4 minutes, right?
Yeah.
But she came in at 1 minute and 55 seconds.
Wow, that's it. I thought I spoke almost 3 minutes. Good to know.
So if whoever is signed in as host can actually launch the polls, please.
Okay, Shay, do you want to launch the?
Yes, I'm able to launch.
I am disqualified. I am.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, Jan did make her 3-minute mark.
Yes, so we'll launch our second poll. It seems a couple still are able to vote. I'm wrapping up in 5, 4, 3, 2. Go ahead and put in your votes. And 1. Now launching our poll for table topics. Oh, it seems our table topics has not been updated just yet.
Okay, everyone,
If they're the co-host, they could probably try along.
if everyone could please just private message Shay, the table topic speaker, everyone except Shay participated.
Yes.
I'll move on to my evaluation of the meeting. Toastmaster Michelle, are you ready with your grammarian and R counters, or you need a bit more time for that?
I'm ready, sir.
Okay, take it away.
The total number of filler words used today was too many. We had lots of so's and ums and ons and repeated restarts. The following Toastmasters did not use any filler words. They are Sonia Garate, Gary Luper, and High on Green. The most commonly used filler words by a member was so, and it was used 4 times. That's the end of my act counter report. Toastmaster General Evaluator, Gary.
Thank you, Toastmaster Michelle. Would you mind giving us your grammarian's report?
Yes, sir. The word plural was not attempted by anyone. That was quite a challenge for today, but I hope you guys will remember it. I found a few notable phrases. Quality is a luxury. Quality is my reputation. Quality is non-negotiable. You have to sprinkle quality in every step. If you don't listen to your customer, someone else will. I just want to caution members, Toastmasters, and speakers that we need to pay attention, including myself, to our verb and subject agreement. Also, little did we know should be a complete sentence. Little did we know. I found one last notable phrase. It takes a PhD to master that kind of skill. That's the end of my grammarian report. Back to you, Toastmaster Gary.
Thank you, Toastmaster Michelle. We will try and use the word Perel for the rest of the meeting, so we'll get an additional grammarian's report at the end. On to the evaluation of the meeting this evening. We were able to start on time. The guests were welcomed, but there weren't any guests, and there weren't any dignitaries either. The Toastmaster of the day did a great job in leading us in applause during the meeting. She requested that all the meeting roles were explained. The transitions between the speeches and the different sections within the meeting were very smooth. The speech titles and project information was presented for the speakers, as well as the introductions. I believe the meeting will end on time this evening. On to our table topics master. The theme of the meeting was stated and the topics were appropriate for the audience. There's one comment in terms of the start of table topics. For the first speaker, you only mentioned the topic once. And we might want to start with a member that's not the timer just for the first one. I think you realized that as soon as you got going with that. But great job on that. We really enjoyed the topics, and it's always great for everyone to participate. I think we're all getting really good practice with table topics over the past few weeks with the smaller meetings. Keep up the good work with that, everyone. The speech evaluators did a really good job, both Shastri and Ray. So thank you for that. Thank you for providing the speakers with some positives and some areas for improvements. Toastmaster Ray, watch the time a little bit. You got very close there. But good job wrapping it up just in time. Toastmaster Micheline, thank you for having the timing signals. We saw those clearly, so good job with that. Toastmaster Michelle, thank you for serving a dual role for us this evening. We really appreciate that. And always thank you for your creativity in the word of the day, even if it's sometimes a little bit out of the ordinary and hard to remember. It's really good for us to learn new words. That's the purpose of grammarian. So thank you for that. This concludes the evaluation section of the meeting. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sonia.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gary, for your evaluation and your honesty and your thoroughness. We appreciate that. And I believe we have the results of our table topics poll, and I'll let Toastmaster Shay announce those at this time. Toastmaster Shay, are you ready, or do you need some more time?
Yes, I'm ready. I was taking the stage to announce our winners. Okay, the winner for our table topics is Sonia Harate. And I believe that's the last one, so I don't have any other to call.
Thank you so much. And it was my pleasure to serve as Toastmaster for you this evening. I will be your Toastmaster next week as well. And I believe next week is a virtual meeting only. So we'll see you all online next week. And don't forget, we have our August 30th in-person event at Commons Park, where I hope to see you all. And I leave you with our president, Toastmaster Shay Greaves.
I thank you all again for such a quality meeting. Again, it's an intimate group, but I thank you for your consistency and for the energy that I can feel very intensely through the screen. So thank you so much. Also, I just want to remind you that we're coming up to our park meeting. So we'll be meeting again in Commons Park. It was so lovely to meet with you guys earlier this year. So we're going to be hosting that again. And I hope, and I encourage you to come out. So I think we'll be trying to send out reminders throughout the week, and maybe also get a check. Raise your hand if you think that you'll be attending. Okay, good. We have a solid attendance. I know for some, because of different reasons, you're not able to, but I'm glad to see those who can. And we look forward to doing more things like this in the future. Is there any other announcements before we close out?
Yes, I wanted to share one announcement if I could.
Yeah.
For the group, we will now be having our 6:30 networking event for the time being. So going forward, that's postponed. Just want to make sure everyone is aware of that.
Thank
And
you.
that's all.
Thank
And
Thank
also,
you.
we have a federal holiday coming up in September. Are we going to still hold the meeting that night?
Oh,
Okay,
Labor
I'm
Day,
seeing
no.
shaking heads.
No,
All right.
Yeah, I agree. Not on a holiday. What, just clarifying what day is that?
Just 6, isn't it?
Yeah,
Is the 6, right?
something like that.
September
Let
6th?
me see, let me verify.
That is correct, and it's not on the calendar, so yes, we
Great.
don't have an agenda for it. I made sure of that.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, the meeting is adjourned. Good to see you guys. Good night.
Good
Good
night,
to
all.
see you, Sujana.
If the exec team can stay back
Same here,
for
bye.
10 to 15 minutes. Sujana, if you want to, you can join us really quickly and then afterwards we can support you afterwards. Does that
That's
work?
fine. That's
Okay.
all right. Yeah, we're
Okay.
using Teams at work, so like I was trying to find the presenter view. I was not able to on Zoom, but I will
Okay.
practice.
I
as well.
mean, do you want to ask that now? Because Gary or maybe Ray or someone can support you finding that.
Shay, do you want to stop the recording for us?
Oh, yes, I'll stop the recording. Thank you for the reminder.